Okay, the chair is assembled as far as the arms, both back legs and front legs. They are assembled with the dovetail in the back of the arms, the Maloof joint in the front of the arms, and everything is very tight. It's now laying on the back legs, so I can access the back legs very easily, where the backrest or headrest is going to go. So the headrest is here. These are cut off scraps from the ends of the arms and the ends of the seat boards, things like that. So I feel good about not wasting that, as I said before. I like to get some really wild grain here and line things up as best as I can. And I've got these boards milled down to the same thickness. And I have one square edge on each of them. So I'm going to square up the other edge. This side is square. And then I'm going to square up this by ripping it a little bit off of the edge. And I'm going to calculate the correct angle for each of these to be coopered, whatever this angle turns out to be. And then the whole thing needs to fit between these two back legs. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to have some standard ears on this chair, which I'll carve out, and the sliding dovetail will start here and will run down past the headrest, which is a 3-inch mark. That's the top of the headrest. It'll run down almost the entire length of the headrest, and will be blind at the end because I don't want to see the dovetail gaping open here. I just want to see the bottom of the headrest coming in with a smooth curve into the leg. So here I have another line drawn at 3 inches that is square to the milled sides. This is bandsawn on the front and back edge, so I'm not doing any measurements off of that. So the inner diameter of the headrest is going to need to be calculated, and that calculation starts with the distance between these two 3-inch marks, with the legs assembled tightly into their Maloof joints on the inside surfaces of each leg. So that measurement comes out to be 20 7/16. Now to that, I'm going to cut the same dovetail, so I have to add the depth, or I should say the height of the dovetail. And that height is going to be 3/4 of an inch. That's what I made it when I cut that dovetail, and I'll reset it to go 3/4 of an inch into the top of the leg, starting here, going on this side, and I'll plow it all the way down here. Keeping in mind that I don't want to go too far because I want to make this end blind. This end's not going to be blind, and when I carve out the ear, you'll be able to look straight down on the dovetail. It gives a really nice effect on each leg. These two sides are parallel, So the sides of the headrest need to also be parallel when they fit in here. And I'll show you how I do that on the table saw. That's the back end of the rough pieces that have been partially milled for the headrest so far. So there's a formula when you know this distance here, which we said is 20 and 7/16. So we have this distance. When we want to make a decision as to how far back, when you're looking down on it at this angle, okay, how far back do you want the headrest to droop? Okay, we cut a straight board with no coopering if we wanted to go straight across, or we could cooper it and then have any degree of curve here going backwards. Okay, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to give it a backward curve, and this is the 4th time I've done this, coopering and sliding dovetail. So just from doing it on those 4 chairs, the last chair was about 2 3/4 inch backward curve to it from the center back. Okay, I'm going to cut that. Looked like a little bit much, so I'm going to make it 2 inches on this chair. So there's a formula for that you can figure out if you go way back in your geometry, which I think is probably a little bit too much for most people, but I'll show you that formula that I worked out.